Hi, my name is Troy Smith, independent sales representative for HiTech Air Solutions worldwide. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to rotate the reactor pads and change out the pre-filter for the Model 101.
Begin by first removing the 8 Phillips head screws in order to remove the lid. It helps to have a little container to hold the screws. And exercise caution, the medical grade stainless steel can have sharp edges.
So, filter change and reactor pad rotation for the 101. Again, we have our 3 reactor pads in the middle and the pre-filter on the end. You get, with the replacement kit or when you order 101, you get 4 pre-filters. So every 3 months, you want to take out and change a new pre-filter. When you do, or even beforehand, you might see that there might be like an oval from the back shape of the grate of dust. You could just brush that off if you want to, but every 3 months, put in a new pre-filter, not to be mistaken with the reactor pads. Even though they're cut with the same material, orange, they look a little bit different, and there's a certain smell that you could discern. Just don't mix up the reactor pads with the pre-filter. Pre-filter does not have Technosite. It's just a pre-filter to collect the dust before it comes into the unit. So you put a new filter in. Some people like to label them. I personally don't. I did for this video. I always just think of the direction of airflow. Air comes into the machine through the pre-filter towards the fans and exits the grates out the front. So I always move the reactor pads in the direction of airflow. So I numbered them accordingly. You know, reactor pad number 1 is going to go into the slot position number 2. This pad number 2 will go to number 3, and number 3 will go to number 1. And then 3 months from now, when you put a new pre-filter in, then you do the same pattern. So I'll actually go through ahead and do it now. So number 1 will come out and it's going to go into area number 2. You always want to make sure and have the orange treated Technosite sides of the reactor pads facing a bulb. So in this middle position, it does not matter because there's a bulb on either side. But now, so 1 went to 2, so number 2 is going to come to section number 3. So we have to turn it around. And you could flip them either way. It's kind of like grilling chicken or steak on a grill. Get it seated all the way in. So 1 went to position number 2, 2 went to here, and then the position number 3 goes into the number 1 slot. Again, make sure that the sticker stays on there. Make sure that the orange side is facing the bulb. And there we have pre-filter change, and the reactor pads are rotated. The biggest reason why it's important to rotate the reactor pads is because the UV light degrades the reactor pads over time. In fact, when you go to change them out, you may see some orange dust from the pads down there. You could just clean that out of there if you want to. But if you never rotated the reactor pads, the one that's in the middle position gets bombarded by UV light from both sides, so it would degrade much more quickly. So by rotating them, they take turns which one's going to spend time in the middle. And here are some very old reactor pads. You could see where the cross braces are protected from the light, but this one's been way overused, and you can see it degrades the material over time in the middle. This is why we rotate the reactor pads. And this one I really burned out kind of on purpose. I want to see how far I could go. But this is why you rotate the reactor pads. It's ideal to keep sufficient humidity, 50% or even higher, because that's what the humidity in the air, that's what reacts with the titanium dioxide and Technosite in the presence of UV light to make the beneficial and cleansing hydroxyls.